pretty obvious to most of us with common sense, and I think you gentlemen have probably had some decent education. Your group in that Texas Sheriff's Department have had some decent education. I think for most of us with basic sense, with common sense, would understand that if a gentleman's throat was slit, if his eyes were gouged out,
justice,
if his ear was cut off, if his family was not allowed to search in a certain property, right? That their family was forbidden to search a certain area, out of all areas, but it coincidentally happened to be the area that his body was found. All I'm saying to Al Sharpton, to President Obama,
yes, Father,
to the leaders of the world, to our news, to our media, why don't y'all care?
Love Jesus.
We're not talking about black on black violence. We're not talking about kids killing each other in Chicago.
Love.
We're talking about a rural area in Texas.
Yes,
Where we believe you probably are a Christian gentleman that made a vow to protect and serve.
Him, Phil.
But Alfred Wright wasn't protected. He wasn't served.
Justice.
The autopsy that said Alfred Wright had a drug overdose.
Yes, sir.
It's so felonious. Like that's your sons, your daughters.
Tell the truth.
If you gave them those basics, we found the gentleman. Think about it. I'm sure you guys got kids. Ask your kids. You know what, honey?
Yes.
Your 7-year-old daughter, your 13-year-old son. Yes. We found a gentleman in the woods today with his throat slit, with his ear cut off, with his eyes gouged out, naked in the woods.
Whoa.
Baby, what do you think, 7-year-old daughter? You think he had a drug overdose or somebody hurt him?
Yo.
Right, sir? What do you think? Sir, Mr. Ranger.
Public safety.
Does that sound like a drug overdose or probably some harm was done to the man? Does that sound like a drug overdose for a man's throat to be slit, ear cut off, eyes gouged out, and tongue cut off? Is that teeth missing? Does that sound like a drug overdose? Or does that sound like some harm was done to the man? Right. That's the basic of everything. We can get into all the deep parts of the conversation that goes over your head, and the DOJ don't want to get involved, and Eric Holster don't want to shake things up, and Congresswoman Sheila Jackson wants to wait and let the process take. Screw all of that. The basics of us as being common sense people. Right?
Justice.
Taxpayers.
For us being common sense people.
Yo.
Anyone that we know, white, black, Chinese, Hispanic, or indifferent. Right? If that young woman right there with the news camera with the mic in her hands was found in the woods with her throat slit, with her ear cut off, her teeth kicked in, her eyes gouged out.
Yes, Father.
Would we even think that it was a drug overdose or someone that harmed to that woman right there?
Tell the truth, Father.
The same principles have to apply to all Americans, even those from the descendants of Africa.
Yes.
Who came over here titled as chattel property.
Yes, Father.
For the folks of this government.
Woo.
That's all, just basic common respect.
Woo!
It's basic common sense.
Whoa!
And every piece of news media, and you picked it up on CNN, that was great, and they followed up.
Yo!
But where's the press?
Yes!
Where is the pressure for, and all we're asking you guys is just to do your job and dig in. Because it doesn't make much sense.
You don't care.
So, by your actions, we can determine whether you care or not. Your actions show that the Texas Rangers, Mr. Danny Young, the Sheriff's Department, don't really care much for what really happened to Alfred.
Whoa.
And they either don't care out of ignorance, negligence, or out of purpose intention.
No justice, no peace.
No justice, no cease. We will not let up. We will not let up. I will stand by this woman. I'll put my career on the line. We will stand by this woman until we find out what happened.
Black
it's not about no justice, no peace. You know why? Because we can rally, we can riot, and get us all done. And the energy's going. But no justice, no cease. We are going to put pressure on every one of your colleagues.
No justice, no cease.
On every government official. All the way up to the president himself.
We will see.
I don't care if he was white, black, or purple.
Seeking justice.
There's a common sense case that a man lost his life in November.
Tell the story.
Due to violence, not due to drug overdose. And until we get answers, there will be no cease.
No cease.
We will not let up. It's not one of those things that's going to blow over.
No cease, no peace.
I will take this to everybody I know in pop culture. I will take this to everybody I know in the government. Every white Jewish man I know with money who cares about common decency and justice. We will bring this to every level that we can bring this to.
Yes,
and no justice, no cease. We're going to find out what really happened to Alfred Wright. And if you guys had a conscience, and you guys, you get on your knees, you pray to the same God that we pray to. You have to know that wrong is wrong, no matter who did it. Even one of your colleagues. If one of your colleagues is wrong, you must arrest them. If Danny Young is wrong, he knows about this, he must be arrested. If the sheriff knows about this, had any part in this, he must be arrested.
Peace.
You have a duty to protect and serve everybody, no matter what their origin is.
No justice, no
No matter
peace.
how your great-great-grandfathers looked at us or owned us.
Yo,
We are now people. We always been people.
Black Power.
But now, you have to understand that we are going to rally together, we are going to unite,
Yo.
and there must be action.
Love.
We will not settle for a drug overdose case.
Yo.
You can try to go arrest that young black man and say he sold them drugs and try to cover up. We're not going to settle for that.
No.
We're not slow.
That's it.
It's
Yo.
basic. The man was violently murdered,
Murder.
most likely lynched. And we're going to get to the
That's it.
bottom of what happened. We're going to
Murder.
fight for this woman
Yes.
and her rights, her son's rights. She should not have to grieve for a 28-year-old son who was
Mother
found
Texas,
naked in the woods.
Mother Africa,
That's
Mother
wrong.
Love.
That's not human. This is human rights. This is not about black right, white rights. This is American rights. This is human rights.
Yes, Lord.
Alfred Wright had the right to be a human being and drive a truck with a
Being a
breakdown
black human being, a
and
loving
not be
human
found
being.
naked in the woods.
A
So all we
wonderful
ask y'all is
human
where
being.
y'all at? President Obama, where are you at? Aaron Costa, where are you at?
Yes.
Pop culture, where are you at?
Yes.
Don't represent when it's time, it's pop, when it's in the press, it's news, and you want to get your PR attention. It's not about PR.
Tears
It's
of
about
hurt.
human rights.
Teardrops of
This
hurt.
is about 400 years of injustice that's still going on in
Love.
2014. And an irresponsibility and an insensitivity and a lack
Teardrops
of
of love.
empathy by our government officials.
Yo.
So that's all we asking is for basic justice for everyone to do the
Love.
right thing. But if there's no justice, no cease.
No cease. No cease, no peace.